Okay, I want to really appreciate everybody for getting here on such short notice, but this was a very important issue that's been in the spotlight for the last few days. In constant communication with our chief, members of the union, we've been going back and forth over how we can increase the count on some of our trucks. And today we came to the realization that we can go up by 4. So instead of having 2 trucks at the minimum standard by the Fire Safety Commission, we're going to go to 6. Emily Arpke, myself, and a number of people in-house ran the numbers. We've talked to our congressman, our senators, our governor, and we told them what we were doing. They've all seemed supportive. So going forward, the goal obviously would be to get to 10 of 10, but right now we think this is a very positive step in the right direction. And I have to introduce my new friend, Ed Kelly, who worked tirelessly on this along with the local guys, Michael O'Regan and Jay Burns, to find a middle ground to get this done so everybody's satisfied. At this time, I'll turn it over to Ed Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor Coogan. And let me say first off that thoughts and prayers continue with those families who lost loved ones here in that tragic fire in Fall River. As we said, maintaining minimum staffing levels is critically important to public safety and firefighter safety. And I want to commend Mayor Coogan for stepping up and moving us in the right direction, making sure that we're bringing up those staffing levels significantly in the city. It doesn't get us to where we want to be, but we're committed to work with the mayor, with the city of Fall River, with the fire chief, with our federal and state partners to ensure that this gets done. We appreciate Governor Healy coming down and offering her support and assistance, and we look forward to cooperating in the future to get all 10 fire companies in Fall River up to that minimum national standard. We think that this is a great move in the right direction, and we applaud Mayor Coogan. I'd now like to bring up the Chief of Department. Chief.
Hey, everybody, I'm sure you all know who I am. I just want to applaud the efforts by the group behind me. They've been having meetings since the fire to come to some sort of an agreement where we can begin to move the needle on staffing in the city of Fall River. I've been on for 23 years, and this is a fight that precedes me. So I applaud the efforts of these gentlemen, and especially Mayor Coogan for, Mayor and I have been talking about this since my very first interview. And we joke because his concept, it's a difficult concept of what staffing means in the fire service. And I think finally, in the last 2 days, the bulb went off in Mayor Coogan's head, and he realized that this is something that we need to do. And I applaud him for taking that step and making this happen. As of 5:30 tonight, we'll be putting out overtimes for the 3 apparatus. And as of 5:30 tonight, we hope that we will have 4 firefighters on the 6 pumps, the 6 engine companies in the city of Fall River. And that will allow us to effect faster fire suppression efforts, faster rescues, and allow our firefighters to work safer, and which in turn makes every citizen of the city safer. So with that, I'll yield back to the mayor if he has any closing remarks. But
I too was remiss in acknowledging all of the public safety people that have been fighting this battle. Still to this day, we're still working on placement of some of our most difficult clients that were living in the Gabriel house. I want to commend the fire, police, EMS, and EMA for the work they did with this horrific tragedy. And I also want to acknowledge the residents that we've been working with so closely. And yesterday I was on the phone with the families that lost someone in this fire. It's a tough phone call to make, but they understood the gravity of what situation had dropped in their lap, and they understand how much it hurt the city and all of its residents. I also want to thank EMS, which is working with the fire department to help increase these staffing levels to make sure we have the right amount of people in the right spots. As everyone said, this is a team effort. I would never let any of you into any of the meetings as the language was spicy and it went back and forth, but it was only spicy going in the same direction. We wanted to make sure we got to a point where we could move the needle on staffing for the fire department in the city of Fall River. With that, if anybody has any questions, just direct them to wherever you want. Sure.
Mayor Coogan, it sounds like this was a no-brainer for you will this make Fall River a safer place?
It most certainly will. The brainer with this was the money. We had to make sure we had the funding necessary, and in conversations with both the governor and our congressman, there's a light at the end of the tunnel that I believe will help us, and if it isn't, we have the funds available to do this. That was the issue back and forth. I want to thank our finance person, Emily Opke, and Mike Dion for the community development, the work put in to make sure we could fund this. After we met this morning, we started going over the numbers, and then getting back to the guys, this was the number we came up with.
So does that mean other city services will be sacrificed?
No, not at this time. No.
Is there an additional cost to it, Mr. Mayor?
There is. I can tell you it's probably going to be about $1.5 million. Roughing it. Yep.
And could you just, for us laymen, I want to understand the staffing. So there's 6 pumps?
There's 10 trucks that go out on a shift. 2 of them right now have the minimum standard of 4. We're going to go from 2 to 6. The other 4 are for future work to hopefully we can get there as soon as possible.
And how many on those 4, the understaffed ones?
3. It was what we've had for the last 20 years.
Mayor, does that mean additional firefighters are hired? Or
Yes.
So it's an additional 4 firefighters are hired?
I'm not sure the
So-
number of firefighters that we're going to hire.
So in the immediate term, we're going to be filling those gaps with overtime. It's really the only option we have. Right now, it takes us between 9 months and a year to complete the hiring process with all the trainings that need to go on and the timing of those trainings. In the long term, we will be hiring firefighters, but it needs to be more than that 4. There's 4 per shift, and plus those people have vacations and all that stuff. So we figure 5.5 for each position. So we'll be looking at 15 to 20 firefighters coming on in the ranks over the next 2 years.
So how many total firefighters will now be working in Fall River per shift?
Per shift, we'll be up to 38.
They'll be up to 38. And
Yep.
how many was it before?
35.
It was 35. So it's 3 more per shift.
It's 3 more. It's 3 more per shift. But one of those people was working on a joint EMS fire truck, and that person will be now reassigned to a fire engine and be doing solely fire suppression and rescue efforts.
Mayor, one other question for you.
Sure.
We were all, or many of us were just at Gabriel House. The owner is there right now. We're trying to get a comment from him. He doesn't seem to want to talk to us. Is he talking to you guys?
He did talk to us.
Do you mind doing it on the mic? Sorry.
Yes, he did come in today unexpectedly. We didn't have a scheduled appointment with him. He came in to talk to us, to tell us a little bit about the problems he's facing, his work with his insurance carrier, his work with the state investigators to get to the bottom of this. Obviously, it is not complete. He gave us what he was talking about with them about, and I'm not going to discuss that here, but at this point, he was, I told him, he said, you sounded like you were mad yesterday at me. I said, I was a little upset that you didn't call us back. I said, in an incident like this, I like constant contact back and forth. Even if you have nothing to say, give me a call and say I'll get back to you. Same as we do with these guys. I don't have anything right now, call me back. I'll call you back. Stay in contact. This is very, very important during a crisis. When people drop off the map, it makes you nervous because this is that important to me. We did not want to lose sight. He was much more amenable today. A couple of problems we have to work through, but he was here today.
So
Okay,
this will
let's
make you
stay.
feel comfortable
Challenges
saying
you're still facing.
he's cooperating?
I would say today he's definitely cooperating. Yep.
What are some of those problems and challenges the city is still facing as you move?
Well, again, he has 35 people working there. I'm not throwing them on the street either. The, South Coast Hospital Group said they would do a little job fair for them to try to get these people jobs. I dare say they must need the money for their mortgages, their car loans, their food. So we want to try to get those people back to work. That's what we discussed. We have 2 clients that we are having difficulty placing because of some extraordinary circumstances. We're working on that with the owner, and we expect to have that resolved in the next 24 hours. But this is where we are. We've had 30-something people dropped on us that we're driving all over Bristol County to find a home for at this time, and that's what it is. Hospital, we're getting the status of them constantly, how many are left. I heard 1, I heard 9. How bad are the injuries? We know we have 1 person that's extremely critical, and say a prayer for them, but we're going to work our way through the whole thing as fast as we can.
Do you think the building will have to come down eventually, Mr. Mayor?
Asked him that. He was walking the building with Liberty Mutual yesterday, his insurance carrier. That's way above my pay grade.
So
So what is your message to the owner of that facility now that first he wasn't cooperating and now you say he is cooperating?
Well, he said to me today when we were talking, he goes, "You were a little hard on me yesterday." I said, "Well, I was getting a little frustrated because I do like a callback, especially in a crisis. I don't need a callback every day, but if it's something like this, we should be in constant contact." That's all I said to him. I said, I didn't like going out there last night at 8 o'clock to a prayer vigil and having nothing to say when I know that between us in this office, we had people sitting in a holding position because we had nowhere to put them. If he would have called me back and say, "Find a place, I'll take care of it," we'd have done that, but we were still waiting for a call back. And as I said today, he apologized going forward. We told him, I said, he goes, "You text me when you need me and I'll get back to you. That's all I need is some direction."
A lot of people mentioned that staffing has been a long-standing issue for the department. Why did it take so long to move the money around to get that staffing at?
Because obviously, Fall River's a $500 million budget, and I have wants and needs coming from all directions. These guys are extremely important to me. We wanted to make sure we did it. When it's slammed in your face like this crisis, it brings it to the forefront, which is why Ed and the crew came down. How do we fix this? Not a month from now, not a week from now, now. That was the message today. We went back and forth today. We came up to a compromise that I think works for the city and for the fire union. But right now, everyone's rowing the boat in the same direction.
Mayor, are there other changes as a city you think need to be made, lessons learned from this fire?
I think the changes coming out of this are going to be nationwide. I think there are things that were done not by Fall River residents, not by mass, but by policies that need to be strengthened going forward. And I think, as in all crisis, sometimes there's a little bit of light that comes out that helps everybody. I'm hoping that's what we take from this because that was bad. I let someone else talk, please.
Yeah, just to answer that question, the changes coming out of this, the staffing issues in Fall River aren't just a Fall River problem. They're in places all over Massachusetts and beyond. And the lesson here is we don't want to have the conversation after the tragedy. And city managers, people that are running, making decision makers at budget time have to prioritize public safety, have to prioritize firefighter staffing in order to protect their population. And that's a lesson, a tough lesson coming out of this.
But Mayor, I was asking more specifically about, I guess, assisted living facilities in Fall River, other things outside of just the fire department,
Well,
inspections, are there other changes that?
Like Eddie just said, I just learned today that a nursing home and assisted living has a different standard of inspections and what goes on. Maybe those have to be uniform, so we know exactly what's going on in any kind of a place like this. Maybe plans have to be filed more regularly. I heard one time that some of the sprinklers are a 20-year inspection. We're in our 19th year. I don't know what the magic 20 is. That's way, like I said, this is way above my pay grade, but these are problems that need to be addressed. And I know Eddie works on a national level. He's going to take back from this those kind of messages. How do we strengthen the safety of everybody in the country if that's where we have to go?
We have time for one more.
What other changes are you looking into to make to prevent any other future tragedies?
Why don't Jeff, why don't you answer that one?
So so this isn't the first time this question's been posed to me. I think that we just need to take our time. It's important right now to really put together the pieces of what happened. We're really in the infancy stages of that right now. There's so much information. There's so much that we need to go through. And then we really need to take our time and look at it. We can't rush to anything right now. I think that based on what we learned from this incident, we'll be able to then have conversations with the building department, with the mayor, and see if we can affect changes that will positively impact other residents and other facilities in the city. So honestly, I mean, we owe that, and I've said that, we owe that to the victims of this fire and their families. So thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Just to clarify, was there one person still in critical, or was it two? 'Cause
We
I
have
know-
2 in critical.
2 in critical.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yep. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.